Welcome back to Our Town, Our Time on RTV 32. I'm speaking with Kathy Ahrens, Karen Murphy, and Tia Wingate, who are all connected to Life Connection Ohio. So Kathy, tell everybody how they can be a donor or how you can sign up for that again.
Okay, well, it's really simple. You can say yes at the BMV when you go to renew your driver's license or state ID card. But if you're not due to go back soon, we want you to make the decision now. So you can go online to donatelifeohio.org and just register there. And even if you're kind of wondering, well, do I really want to do this, or I feel like I need a little bit more information, the website is full of stories, factual information that can help you make that decision. Because we do find there are a lot of misconceptions out there that hold people back. And while donation is a personal decision, and of course we want many more people to say yes so more lives can be saved,
right,
we want them to make an informed decision. And so, you know,
and be comfortable.
Yeah, and there are so many myths out there, and sometimes it's because of a television program which makes great drama for television watching, or the internet, or maybe word of mouth that something just changes down the line until it gets to you and it's just totally devoid of fact or reason. A lot of people think now that the biggest thing I'm hearing is that I'm too old to donate, and I'm talking about people that are 50 and beyond, which is not that old. But they think
it's not.
It's not now. It's all right. You'll understand someday, Tia.
Yes, you're just a baby.
But everyone can register, no matter how old you are, no matter what your medical condition is. By registering and saying yes in the Ohio Donor Registry, you're just saying, if at the time of my death I could save a life, I would want to. And then it's at the time of death that they do medical testing to determine which organs or tissues are suitable for donation. There's no cost to donation. You know, donation is a gift, and when donation occurs, organizations like Life Connection of Ohio or the Tissue Bank or the Eye Bank take on the costs of those recovery costs. You know, the system is fair. There are many checks and balances to determine that that person who's at that top of the list gets that organ. Like we talked earlier, you also have to meet certain criteria.
To match.
Yeah, compatible blood type and also similar body size. And that's the first two things that go into it. And then there's other things like, you know, other testing that they'll do. But when that list is generated and those names start coming back, the whole nation sees who is maybe going to receive that organ. And it doesn't matter if you're rich and famous. It doesn't matter if you're a celebrity. It's going to go to the person who is in most need and who's the sickest and waiting for that organ.
And the next in line, I guess.
Absolutely.
Now, I've got a question for you. What we have discussed, you know, and with my family or whoever, when you sign up to donate, be an organ donator, can someone else in your family say no after you pass, even though you've said you wanted to?
That's a good question. You know, now in Ohio, we have an advance directive, which is an organ donation decision in the Ohio Donor Registry.
Okay.
So it is legal consent for donation.
Good.
It cannot be overturned by your family. But we still want people to talk to their family and share that information, so it's not a surprise, and maybe you can even talk to your family about them making that decision. But it is a first-person authorization, and what we find is that most families are going to want to honor that, and they're actually grateful to know that their loved one made that decision in advance. Because now's the time to do it while you're healthy and it's a non-issue. The worst time to make that decision is to leave it to your family at the time of your passing.
Yeah. Well, sure.
Right.
It's horrible, but I would think just from being on the other end, I mean, these people are heroes who gave you life.
Most definitely.
And who gave
so
Noelle
their
life. Right.
You know, because the things that they're going through at that time, and then, you know, respecting and honoring or making the decision if that person had to be a donor. I mean, they're all heroes in my book.
Right.
And I've had the privilege of actually getting to meet over the phone and letters and stuff my donor's husband.
How wonderful.
Oh, and you know what? It's really weird because he and I talk all the time. It's like we feel like we've known each other forever.
Right.
And my donor, her name's Terry, and she was registered, and he always tells me that she's really your hero because he said, I don't know if when that happened, because it was sudden, that I could have made the decision to do that.
So because she had already
But because she had
signed up.
already done that, you know, it was good to go, and he honored and respected that. And now that we talk, he's really grateful that we've had a chance. He goes, if I didn't talk to you or communicate with you, I think she would be very unhappy with me. And she was, you know, older than I am, and so she was healthy. All I needed was a healthy liver, and she provided
Right.
that for me. And I honor and remember her daily.
Right. And what a great legacy for her husband, to know that her wife, or, you know, her passing was not in vain, if it was sudden or whatever. You feel like their memory goes on. You know, they were able to help somebody else with life. I mean,
Right.
what a great thing.
I know. It is a legacy that can be left for the family, and that's another part of what I see in my daily work, you know, and working with the donor families. Even though they left that hospital and lost so much through the loss of their loved one, they've gained something back, because now they have this last final act of kindness that their loved one gave to someone else, and
Right.
they so enjoy having the opportunity, if they can, to meet the recipients and develop relationships. They're like family, and they're proud to share their loved one's story, and that's what really comforts me, to know that this helps them in their grief walk. So I want people to really understand, when you make this decision, you're not only helping strangers that you'll never meet, you're helping your family down the road, because they're going to have a different path to follow in their grief, and it's a proud one.
That's right. And if you are someone who has a family member who donated, and you can see and speak to, like you, Karen, then it just spreads the word further, because then more people will sign up and more people will get involved and understand it a little more. Now, there are live donors, but that is kidney, right?
For the most part, it's kidney
Kidney.
donation, because you have two and you can live with one. There are also
Sure.
some circumstances where a portion of a liver can be donated. I mean,
Really?
many times, you
That
know.
they were, my daughters wanted to. They talked to the doctors at the Cleveland Clinic when I was really ill, and I did not want that. I did not want part of their livers, because
Right.
what if something happened to them? So fortunately,
That's the mother in you.
yeah, fortunately though, my doctors told my daughters that no, your mom is way too sick. She needs a whole liver.
Whole liver.
So,
So is it a
whew.
case of maybe a child, or if you catch something early enough, you could do part of a liver?
Well,
or
Tia, was that an option for you? Can you speak to that?
It was. They had just, you know, we went so quickly. They had a possible donor in mind. We had people that were stepping up and wanting to give a portion of their liver. But the first and best option is always
Sure.
from a deceased donor. It just, the recovery time is quicker. But I tell you, the first two people who stepped to the front of the line to donate a part of their liver were me and my husband.
Sure,
You know, my
absolutely.
husband was like, I don't care, put me on the table tomorrow.
Right.
There's a whole plethora of tests that need to be run before that's done, but it is an option in some cases.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, once someone gets too sick, then that's really not an option
you need the
anymore.
whole liver to recover, I would
And
guess.
just think about that, you know, now you have a mom or a dad who's recovering from major surgery and a little one who just received a transplant. I mean, it's such a blessing that someone who in their passing could save that life and
Right.
spare you so that you could take care of your little one.
That's right. What about funding? Is there donations, monetary donations that you take, or is it all funded through?
Well, our funding is basically through Medicare and Medicaid, and then
Okay.
private insurance covers for
Okay.
transplantation. But you can donate $1 to the Second Chance Trust Fund every time you go to the BMV. And that money
Okay.
goes towards organ donation, education, and awareness programs,
Okay.
which Tia and her daughter and Karen are featured in. You'll be seeing a new Bureau of Motor Vehicle Donate Life brochure, and they'll
great.
be featured, and you'll see them, I'm sure, in some commercials this coming February. So they're sharing their stories and helping to save more lives.
Well, I want to thank all of you for coming and sharing here, and hopefully we can get the word out of how important it is, obviously, to donate, be an organ donator, and there's all kinds of things you can donate. So sign up when you get your license renewed, or go to what website is it again?
DonateLifeOhio.org.
Well, thank you again
Thank you.
for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Michelle.
And thanks for watching Our Town, Our Time on RTV 32. Everybody have a great week.